Tonight on The South Today, some good news for the new Dunedin hospital build as the government announces a partial backtrack. 3 years of work comes to an end as Invercargill celebrates its redeveloped central city. And a Christchurch man sets himself a unique challenge with plans to bike around the city. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Dave Gooselink. Well, Otago residents received some good news today with the government announcing a more positive update on the new Dunedin hospital build. Health Minister Aisha Verrill visited the city to announce changes to a few of the previously announced cuts, which she says will be the last of any redesign for the project.
A big empty building site, still waiting to be developed. Late last year, the government revealed costs had blown out for the new Dunedin hospital build, requiring $90 million worth of cutbacks to the design. Dunedin city councillors led a high-profile campaign against the cuts. They save, we pay. And on Friday afternoon, Health Minister Aisha Verrill visited the city to announce a partial reversal of the plans.
Our focus is on making sure that the building can deliver the clinical services we all want for Dunedin. That's been my focus as someone who trained in that hospital and someone who's worked in hospitals throughout the country.
The government's reversing $10 million worth of cuts, including reinstating an MRI scanner and a collaborative space for clinicians. The update follows a backlash from the local community amid concerns the new hospital wouldn't be future-proof or fit for purpose. However, while that campaign may continue, the government's drawing a line in the sand.
There won't be any further redesign of the hospital. It's time to crack on with building it so that it's built in a timely way and the costs of inflation don't continue to eat away at the clinical services.
The minister also said the government would investigate the planned reduction of psychogeriatric beds and pathology space. She claims their focus is on building a suitable hospital that provides clinical services for the region to reduce the need for a redesign in the future. In Dunedin, The South Today.
Well, emergency services were kept busy late yesterday with call-outs to 3 separate vehicle accidents near Mosgiel. 2 cars were involved in a crash on Gordon Road between Park Street and Haggett Alexander Drive at around 4:30 yesterday afternoon. One person from that crash was treated for minor injuries. Then minutes later there was a 7-car pile-up on the southern motorway heading towards Mosgiel, which caused major traffic delays. And fire crews later diverted to the opposite line of the highway near the Saddle Hill overbridge to attend a van fire. Well, it's been a major project for Invercargill, costing ratepayers millions of dollars and filling the streets with roadworks for the last few years. But the City Council insists it was all worth it, today marking the official end of redevelopment work in the central city.
An early sunrise blessing on the streets of Waihopai. It was a brisk morning for officials in central Invercargill as they celebrated the completion of inner-city upgrades on Esk Street and Don Street. It's taken more than 3 years of work, with the shared space finally open for the public to use.
This is the opportunity for a place where people can come and spend time and actually enjoy the city, and then hopefully they'll go and do some retail therapy, they'll go and buy some stuff, but I guess that's the place. You come to town, you can sit down, have a rest, have a coffee, enjoy. The
morning ceremony included a walking whakawatea, a Māori blessing, around the redeveloped block, followed by official speeches. Invercargill's Mayor, Nobby Clark, pleased with the final outcome.
It's stunning, absolutely stunning, it really is. It's been hard for the retailers here. They've had 2 Christmas periods where they've not had normal foot traffic in, but no, this and the mall that sits behind it, or the ICL, just outstanding, really.
Speakers shared a theme of continuing the beautification and improvements in the central city, with the spotlight particularly on Wachner Place as the next focus. City Council Chief Executive Michael Day hailed the upgrades as an innovative start to the city's rejuvenation.
I think it's something that's quite different from Invercargill. If you look around the city, we haven't done a lot of innovation in relation to what we've done in our hardscape. I think this is one of the big pushes for the city going forward. It's exciting, really exciting.
The council's focus will now turn to new projects, with the aim of enhancing Invercargill for residents, while also attracting more people to visit and work in the south. In Invercargill, the South Today.
Well, a holiday home in Wanaka, built for a Dunedin family of property enthusiasts, has won a top award in a regional House of the Year competition. Frank and Karen Casimir decided to build this impressive single-storey home in the Meadowstone subdivision near Wanaka, choosing property development company Home Factor to assist in their vision. The three-bedroom modern sanctuary stretches over 240 square metres, includes a cedarwood exterior, an outdoor entertainment area and green tiled en-suites. The eye-catching elements helped earn the ambitious project a Gold Award in the Southern Regional section of the Master Builders House of the Year competition. The Casimirs spend half their time in Dunedin, where they own the award-winning Ebb Hotel, and plan to spend the rest of their time enjoying their new Wanaka home. Well, Christchurch man Stephen Dunn is spending a lot of his free time on his bike this year. The cyclist set himself a challenge of riding every street in Christchurch after being inspired by a blind walker.
Ticking another street off his list. Christchurch man Stephen Dunn is planning to spend a lot of 2023 on his bike. He set himself an unusual year-long challenge to cycle every street in the Garden City. The former Dunedin man says he was inspired by blind woman Julie Woods, who managed to walk every street in Dunedin last year.
I love riding bikes. I want to explore my city a bit more. So let's do all the streets. I don't know if it's been done before, but I just wanted to give it a go.
The 53-year-old is already halfway through his ambitious challenge, but admits that it hasn't always been an easy ride.
I've had a few dogs bark at me, I've had a couple of cats jump out in front, and I've just avoided them.
Dunn is using a GPS mapping app to help keep track of which streets he's cycled, to try to cut down on double-ups. The keen cyclist estimates he'll clock up more than 2,700 kilometres by the time he's finished, and is already thinking about his next adventure.
I'll keep going and just keep riding, and maybe I'll start doing Dunedin next. That might be something I might plan.
He's aiming to complete a cycling trek of Christchurch in November by riding down Dunn Street in the suburb of Summerfield.
It's my last name, Dunn, so I'll be done. So that's the plan.
Done with this challenge perhaps, but with the wheels in motion for a sequel. In Christchurch, the South Today.
Whai Akine, still to come on the South Today. Hundreds of young motocross riders head south for their junior nationals, and a gruelling climb up the Crown Range marks the end of the Tour of New Zealand cycle race.
Easter weekend's been and gone, but there are still some sweet savings to be had at my mate John's. So hop along to John's Easter Double Dipper! There's 30% off beds, 25% off lounge, and 20% off everything else, plus paid off interest-free. Easter Double Dipper! Must end this weekend at John's Furniture Warehouse, Stafford Street.
Where did you get that furniture from? Stafford Street. And my mate John.
Garrador Dunedin, delivering quality, stylish garage doors in Dunedin for over 17 years. New doors, replacement doors and maintenance are all part of Garrador's quality service. Garrador Dunedin offers a full range of modern quality doors to suit any home. Come visit the team.
Drive away your way with 3 incredible offers on the Honda CR-V Adventure Ready range. Choose from 2.9% finance with zero deposit, third finance, or lease a new CR-V from just $136 per week. These offers are only available for a limited time, so be in quick. From Honda.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer. You owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Aero, used by Australia's top bowlers with their unique Z-scoop grip that redefines the game. Machined with robotics for unparalleled accuracy, Aero, same line, every time.
Welcome back. Well, young motocross stars have been on show in Invercargill at the Moto South NZ Junior MX Nationals. More than 200 riders have headed south for the event, which has a reputation for producing champions.
Teen riders revving their engines as future motocross stars compete on the sandpit track at Ontara for their first race of the competition. The Southland Motorcycle Club is hosting this year's Moto South NZ Junior MX Nationals, attracting hundreds of riders to the region, alongside their families and support crews.
It's the first time we've ever had it in Invercargill. Riders aged from 8 to 16 years old.
Competitors at the Junior Nationals are aged between 8 and 16 years old, with a high level of motocross riders taking part. The events produce champions who've gone on to the international stage, with riders facing up to 7 races per class over the 3 days.
It's been a purpose-built track. It's been here for a number of years. We've had amazing facility. The track itself is just around 2 k's in length, and lap times are about 2:15, 2:30.
The 3-day event began on Friday, with the action set to continue at the sandpit track through until Sunday afternoon. In Invercargill, the South Today.
Former Tour de France cyclist Julian Dean was among the riders taking part in this year's Tour of New Zealand. The race wound up in Queenstown earlier today, with competitors more focused on raising money than their final results.
A gruelling climb to finish up the Crown Range as riders complete the final stretch of the 7th Tour of New Zealand bike race. More than 100 competitors tackled the 5-day endurance cycling race from Arthur's Pass through to Queenstown, travelling more than 500 kilometres across the 6 stages. The Tour of New Zealand's unique among races of this size. It caters to cyclists of all skill levels, with riders able to fundraise for charities along the way.
All the riders ride for charity, and it's a unique race because there's everyday riders riding this race, and those people have never ever ridden anything like this before, but they do it for the love of the charity, for the love of bike riding.
Cyclists could also choose to ride as a team, the Morton family from Auckland riding together to raise funds for the Neuroendocrine Cancer Charity Fund.
This is the closest thing that we could find that sort of went with her as a charity. So the Muppets, that's us, we decided to ride for Susie. And yeah, just lovely to be here and to be able to do that for her.
The Tour of New Zealand started in 2012 and has raised more than $2.3 million for a variety of charities, including the Child Cancer Foundation, Heart Foundation and the Tear Fund. These riders now looking to put their feet up and relaxing after adding a few $100,000 more to the growing total. In central Otago, the South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. The government makes a partial backtrack on plans for the new Dunedin hospital build, reversing $10 million worth of cuts. Christchurch man Stephen Dunn has set himself a physical challenge to cycle all of the city's streets over this year. And Invercargill's council celebrates the end of work on their ambitious inner city redevelopment project. Now time for a look at tomorrow's weather.
The South Today weather, proudly brought to you by MoleMap, the skin cancer detection specialists.
Starting with the situation, and an intense anticyclone east of the South Island will direct a mild nor'easterly airflow over New Zealand for a few days, bringing mostly fine weather to southern districts. Heading to the top of the South Island, and those fresh nor'easterlies continue up here. Some cloud, Nelson heading for 20, 18 for Greymouth and 17 degrees in Christchurch. Travelling to South Canterbury and North Otago, 17 degree highs across the board here. Ashburton, Timaru and Oamaru expecting fresh nor'easterlies and some cloud. Heading westwards to the central lakes, it's moderate nor'easterlies and cloud for this region. Wanaka and Queenstown, you're looking for 19 degrees. Alexandra, one back on 18. Heading further south, gusty nor'easterlies, but mostly fine in Balclutha with 18 degrees. Similar conditions for Gore and 19 degrees, and cloudy in the Catlins with fresh nor'easterlies and 16. Down to the deep south, fine and cool tonight in Invercargill. It'll be mostly fine and sunny tomorrow with fresh breezy nor'easterly winds. Warm temperatures, a high of 19 and a low of 9. Similar weather on Sunday with a high of 21 and a low of 11 degrees. And finally heading to Dunedin, cloudy tonight with breezy northeast winds. Low cloud at first tomorrow morning, that'll clear, becoming fine and sunny for most of the day. A high of 16, a low of 11. Similar weather on Sunday, cloud at first, mostly sunny by day, strong nor'easterlies, and looking for a high of 17 with a low of 12 degrees. And that's the news this Friday. For the latest news and videos from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz. You can follow Channel 39 on YouTube to catch our news bulletins on demand, and you can now also follow us on Facebook. Just search for The South Today to see our favourite stories from around the regions. We'll see you again next week. Mā te wā.
Public interest journalism funded through New Zealand On Air.